It's just your imagination. There's no such thing. It's all in your mind. Have you ever been told this, or have you told this to someone when they are feeling fearful? So by giving the soothing words, we hope to ease some of their fear. It may give you some temporary relief, but you know that it ultimately does not help you overcome those fears. You can choose to ignore it, you can hide it in the closet, you can sweep it under the carpet, you can bury it deep underground, but that doesn't make the fear go anywhere. Since you're the one who hid it, you know well where to find it, and it will always come back to haunt you. It may be our imagination, but we cannot deny that the fear is very real. There is no shame in being fearful because those are just one of our many emotions as being human, and that's just what makes us human. Just to be clear, I'm not talking about the fear that keeps you alive. Those are the good fear. Those are our natural response to real threats like standing at the edge of a cliff or when you are diving too deep underwater. I'm talking about psychological fear. The fear of what might not actually happen. The fear of rejection. The fear of making a bad decision. The fear of what other people will think about me. Fear is success enemy number one. Fear stops you from taking opportunities. Fear wears you down, ages you, takes a toll on your health and vitality. In short, fear prevents you from getting what you want in life. So the goal is to not ridicule or ignore fear because fear is very real. The goal is to diminish fear, to radiate confidence, to conquer your worries, and to be at ease anywhere at any time. So in this video, I'm going to help you put fear into perspective so that you can actually do something about it. And at the end, I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you overcome fear and build confidence. Have you ever wondered why some people are so confident? They speak without hesitation and they always know what to do. And you wish you could be like them as well. Well, I've got good news for you. All confidence is acquired. No one is born with confidence. Write down this phrase: action cures fear. Hesitation or indecision only magnifies fear. You might not like what I have to say, but you know that this is important for you to overcome your fear, and that is to feel the fear and do it anyway. So the key to overcoming fear is by taking swift action, is by being decisive. The quicker you face them, you don't give yourself time to be afraid, you destroy those negative thoughts before they become mental monsters in your head. Fear feeds on the unknown and it grows bigger and scarier the longer you wait. But when you do take action, you will start to have a better idea of the future and you realize that it's not as scary as you imagine. And once you do it over and over again, the fear no longer has a grip over you and it starts actually feeling very addictive because it makes you feel powerful by overcoming your fears. So I used to be afraid of public speaking. I thought that if I didn't say anything, there will be no chance for anyone to think badly of me or for me to make a fool out of myself. But I decided to face my fears, so I took up speaking classes, I went to Toastmasters, I made a decision that wherever I had the opportunity, I will speak up. I told myself, just say it, you're the biggest fool for not speaking up. The worst that can happen is that I'll find ways not to say it. The best that can happen is that I will say what I want and will be heard. So that's what I did. Before I even had a chance to stop myself from speaking, I already did it. And the more I did it, the more confident I became and the less fearful I was. Even now, as I put up my videos or my writings, I feel fearful of being scrutinized by others. But I don't let it bother me for long. I feel the fear and I do it anyway. The worst that can happen is that I'll use their criticism as feedback for improvement, and the best can happen that my writings and my videos inspire and help other people. So here I am, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So the biggest hurdle is how can we overcome the initial mental inertia of starting? So here are 5 tips you can do to overcome your fear and build confidence. Tip number 1, practice speaking up. Whenever you're in a group and there's an opportunity to speak, embrace the spotlight. This is your practice ground. You're not trying to win a nominee for most profound speaker, so you don't have to get too caught up about what to say, what not to say, what if I say this, other people think I'm a fool. Just stop right there. Don't even try to expand the thought. You're the biggest fool for not trying. So make a goal to speak at least once in every meeting, in every conference call, in every community event that you are in. Make a comment, make a suggestion, ask a question. Try to be the first one who makes the comment. The more you do this, the more natural it will feel. So tip number 2, visualize your success. Our mind is an extremely powerful thing. It can make you feel fearful just by imagining it. It can make you feel powerful just by imagining it. So try visualizing yourself overcoming your fear. Visualize yourself closing that sale, making that speech, looking and feeling confident doing it. Hold on to that feeling and remind yourself that the process will be worth your while. Tip number 3, Ask yourself these two questions. What is the worst that can happen that you can learn from, and what is the best that can happen? Most of the time, people think about the worst case scenario, but if you look back in your life, it's not all 100% bad. I'm sure there are good ones as well. In fact, I believe most of them are good. So train your mind to see the future as exciting, to see the future not as uncertainties, but as possibilities by asking yourself these two questions. What is the worst that can happen that you can learn from, and what is the best that can happen? So the previous two questions are great when you have some time to think about it, but what about the times when you're in the moment, right now, right here, there's a golden opportunity and you are fearful, whether you should speak out, whether this is the right time to speak to your boss, or whether you should bring up, initiate the uncomfortable topic that everyone has been avoiding. So tip number 4, ask yourself, is this decision that I'm going to make a reversible or irreversible decision? If it's an irreversible decision, take some time to think about it. If it's reversible decision, just do it. Most of our time, our decisions are not life and death. They are reversible, so just do it. So last one, tip number 5, put on a big smile. So okay, this might sound counterintuitive because when you're fearful, you don't feel like smiling. Yes, no one does. The trick is to force yourself to do it. Tell yourself, I'm gonna smile, then smile. When you do this, you'll feel your attitude and everything about you, your emotions will change because confident action produces confident thinking. Motion changes emotions. We change our attitudes by changing our physical actions. Do this and you'll feel your confidence grow and fear diminish. So smile until your teeth shows. The bigger the smile, the more confidence you have. So smile beats fear anytime. So that's it. Those are 5 tips you can do to overcome fear and build confidence. So I'm going to summarize. So tip number 1, practice speaking up at every meeting that you attend. Tip number 2, visualize yourself overcoming your fears. Tip number 3, ask yourself the questions, what is the worst that can happen that you can learn from, and what is the best that can happen? And tip number 4, in the heat of the moment when you have to make a decision right here, right now, ask yourself, is this decision I'm going to make reversible or irreversible? If it's reversible, just do it. Lastly, tell yourself, I'm going to smile, then smile. Put on your biggest smile and feel that confidence instantly. When you do this, you will see and feel small changes every day. And over time, you will experience massive results. So Confucius says, it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Tip number 1, practice and negativeness. Tip number 1, practice. Oh my god. Tip number 1, practice speaking up. Oh my god, what to speak. Tip number 1, practice speaking up. Whenever you're in a group. Tip number 1, practice speaking up. Whenever you're in a group and there's an opportunity to. Okay, I'm going to practice this. Ask yourself, is the decision I'm going to make reversible or irreversible? It is irreversible. Tip number 4, in the heat of the moment when you have to make a decision right here, right now, ask yourself, is the decision,